We are here with John Bookwalter, and John, you won an award recently from Sunset Magazine for your tasting room. Tell me a little bit about the award, and then also your philosophy that you've taken with the winery and with the tasting room operation, basically since you returned to the business.
Sure. So it was the Sunset Best of the West Award. So they award the top tasting room out of the 13 or 14 Western U.S. states. So they just kind of evaluate them for uniqueness and quality of wine, quality of service. And they'd had a chance to visit us about a year ago and put us in the hopper. And there was 3 finalists, and we were able to pull it off. So it was a pretty proud moment for us and what we've accomplished out here. In this store, it's the Richland store. In Eastern Washington. But, it's a culmination of all of our efforts since I've arrived back here. I think I was quoted probably by you maybe 4 or 5 years ago of, Starbucks meets a winery, and that's kind of what the original concept was, is let's give people a place to sit down after they've tasted wine, have a glass, have a little bit of cheese or a little bit of charcuterie. And it just seemed to catch on, because we started that really almost 7 years ago, and 11 or 8 years ago now, because it was the fall of '03 when we first opened the lounge concept, and then we kind of expanded it throughout our whole building. So we continue to find unique ways to offer cool food without having a chef, if you might say. We've offered, we continue to expand our seating because people just seem to want to come out and hang out. But we also have a unique location, and that's really what I took advantage of. I mean, we're an urban winery. The 10 acres we have here, when Dad initially cleared it in 1993, it was all ag land, and there wasn't a freeway, and there wasn't my 2 neighbors, and there wasn't neighborhoods here. So, the world kind of just sprawled and surrounded us. So with an urban winery, what do? Become a destination to hang out because people can access us, within a few minutes. So, yeah, I think the award really just is that. It's acknowledging all the efforts that have gone in over time and how we've done live music 4 nights a week for 7 years now. I mean, we've become a reliable source of entertainment, frankly.
And you've even taken out a little bit of vineyard space to make more room for events.
Yeah, where's our priorities, huh? I don't know. Well, this was never a great place to grow grapes. It's a fairly cold site, and this was a little bit of Marsanne, and I don't know how Marsanne sales are these days, but we needed more outdoor event space, and we're, for instance, this year we're going to do 2 weekends full of Shakespearean Festival event out here. We've got the symphony coming out here this year, so we needed a lot of lawn space for people to put down blankets. So we did a camp out this year as well, or last year, which we'll expand on into book stock this year. Instead of wood stock, it'll be book stock. So we'll do 4 or 5 bands and then let people sleep overnight. So we've become, a little bit of an entertainment management company, but it's been really good for us. Our clients love it. They're able to, enjoy our wines. They join the club oftentimes. So it's been a great way for us to expand our base.
And you've also opened a second location in the last 2 or 3 years over in Woodinville.
It's been not quite 2.5 years in Woodinville, and that's been really good. We had a great location over there. We got spoiled. We ended up in the Hollywood School District, and we were one of the first ones in that location. So.
You were in Woodinville before it was a cliche.
You might say so, but I still think it's great. I mean, for us, it's worked out really well. We offer such a different experience in Eastern Washington versus what we do there. We've got basically a renovated garage over there, so people can come in and try the wines and experience what we put into a bottle, but then they can come over here and really get the sense of where it's made, how it's made, and being able to sit down and listen to live music and enjoy our wines. It's a very different environment to experience our product.
So no plans for campouts in Woodinville?
No, we don't have the space for it over there. I don't know how it would work.
It'd be very hard parking
We'll expand that site a little bit. We want to do some more outdoor things there, but we don't even have running water in our building over there, so it's not like we're going to be doing food anytime soon.
All right. Over the years, you've changed the look of Bookwalter. It used to be kind of this quaint family operation. Now it's J. Bookwalter, and you've renamed a lot of the wines for kind of the literary theme. Mm-hmm. Talk about the rebranding, if you will, of Bookwalter.
Well, I mean, we'd been around. Dad started the winery in '83, and I came back in the late '90s, and I remember my dad taking me down to meet with Gary Figgins in the February of '98. I won't forget. And we toured through his winery and tasted his red wines, and I thought to myself that whatever we made at the time didn't taste anything like that. And Gary mentioned the word, how do you reinvent? And those words have stuck with me to this day. And I think, beginning in 2000 when we hired Zelma Long, one of the most respected winemakers in the world, to work with and to work with me personally on crafting our wines, we needed to rebrand. And so when we released those wines in really '02, '03, it needed a new look and feel because we had changed everything inside the bottle, all the processes and vineyards that went into that, and how we made the wine. So we needed to reshape the external image of the winery, and packaging is a big part of that. And then kind of the natural evolution as we changed the packaging and got people reintroduced to the brand, because we basically went from white wine to all red wine. We started putting literary terms. It started with chapter 1, and people were like, I didn't make it for a while, and they said, what happened? You got a writer's block? You can't come up with chapter 2? So it was a little bit of our own clients that kind of stimulated the idea for the literary terms. Bookwalter, what else would you do? So we put literary terms that mean a little bit about every wine, so it's not just a random term put on a wine. I mean, the foreshadow tier, which is our upper tier, means there's something yet to come. Protagonist, central hero or theme, it's Merlot-based wine, so there's a little bit of thought that's gone into even the words that go on to the brand. But I think it gives us a little bit of a tie-in with people, and we tell them that we've partnered with different literacy causes like the Reading Foundation here locally, King County Library Foundation in Seattle, also Room to Read. So we put teeth in it. It wasn't just a hollow marketing ploy. We actually grabbed some other causes to kind of help bind our message, if you will. So that's been a huge part of the reinvention of Bookwalter, and the J was natural because Gene and Jerry and John, so it was an easy letter to pick.
Yeah. And you haven't really stood still outside of the winery either. You're involved with the local Visitor and Convention Bureau heavily. Yeah. You're involved in the Wine Commission heavily. Talk about some of those activities that you're using to not only build your business but also to build the business of wine.
Sure. I think, both of those really go hand in hand when you look at the commission that I chair and also the Visitor and Convention Bureau locally that I chair. I mean, a lot of these things are driven, our business is driven around tourism and introducing people to Washington wine, and it's not just my brand, but everybody's brand, and that's really what the commission's job is. Our charter is to create awareness and demand for Washington wine locally, regionally, domestically, and around the world. I mean, that's our charter. And then, with the Visitor Bureau, it's our job to, as you know, it's heads and beds, but getting people introduced to brand Tri-Cities. So how do we do that? We create great products, create an environment that allows people to come out and enjoy what we do here. So I think, as much as I put into those, we get back, or I get back, frankly. So, it's a pleasure to serve on both those boards, and the directors do all the work. We just kind of help guide.
I have a feeling there's a little more to it than that.
Well, it's a pleasure to be part of. Really, I look at them in many ways the same, because the Tri-Cities is still growing and earning and creating its reputation. No different than the Washington wine industry. The Washington wine industry, although 30 years viable commercially speaking, it's nascent. I mean, when you look at the world brands and the regions that have created, wines for so long, I mean, we've been around just a short amount of time. Amazing growth and amazing quality, but we really haven't been here that long, and certainly volumetrically we're pretty small.
Do you feel like the industry is kind of coming out of the recession? What are your feelings on economically where we stand?
Yeah, I think it's a cumulative effect on people. So I think there's going to be some challenges still that will continue through 2011, maybe into 2012. But it feels better this year. Not only locally, we've always been in a bubble. We've been fortunate to be here in the Tri-Cities, but nationally, people are starting to perk up again and realize that if you're employed, you're probably okay now. If you're not, you're obviously still hurting. But I think the people that are still out there that are working, which is 90% of us or more, as we hear, they're willing to spend on high quality products, and I think Washington produces a lot of value at various price points. So it feels better on a national scale this year already, and it's being reflected in orders.
All right, John, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it.